howdy y'all. This is Trucker Jordan with Driver Solutions, and welcome to my video for today. So it's been a little while since I've come out with something. One of my more recent videos was on teaming, and it was kind of just an introductory video. And today I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about what to do when problems arise. So, for those of you who have been watching me from the beginning, you know that I was with a teammate who was my husband, Sean. But for the last little more than 2 months now, I've actually been running solo. Because, long story short, I was really debating whether or not to share this with you guys, but I've come to the conclusion that this is real world stuff that you guys might be dealing with, and unfortunately, my husband and I just had too many disagreements and issues that were not able to be worked out. So after giving it another go, we had kind of spent some time apart and then got back in the truck together, but after that, we ended up coming to the that it was just going to be best for us to go our separate ways. So after collecting all of my things and getting them out of the truck, PAM Transport was able to work with me to get me into another truck, and that was kind of an adventure in and of itself. So essentially, what happened was after we had the issues and whatnot, I called my dispatcher and I said, hey, this is what's going on, who do I need to talk to? And he was like, well, let me get you to the supervisor and we'll go from there. And I said, okay, sounds good. So he transferred me right over to my supervisor, and my supervisor picked right up and he said, okay, Jordan, what's going on? And so I filled him in on everything, and he was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're on home time right now. So first thing you're going to do is get all your stuff out of the truck, and then at the end of your home time, we will get you to a truck, and then you'll just run solo until we find you a teammate. Because the teammate thing is because I'm still under my teaming contract of 6 months or 65,000 miles, whichever comes first. So because I haven't satisfied that yet, that's why they're still looking for a teammate for me, right? So I was like, okay, great. Well, long story short, they ended up having to have me drive from Syracuse, New York to Charlotte, North Carolina in a rental car, which the company graciously paid for. I was really grateful for that, because I was like, well, how am I going to get to this truck, because originally we were like, oh, well, maybe it's going to be in Ohio, but then it ended up being in North Carolina, so obviously that's a pretty big difference. So once I got to the truck with all my stuff, the truck was a wreck. I mean, bad. And it was basically somebody must have had it and they abandoned it. And pro tip, don't do that. If you're going to leave a company and you're going to leave, don't just abandon the truck, trash it, and leave all your stuff in it. Especially dirty things that should not ever be left behind for somebody else to clean up. Are you kidding me right now? Just please be a mature, responsible adult, and don't do that if you're going to leave a company. At least leave them in good standing and leave their truck in good condition. End rant there. Sorry, but I spent 4 hours cleaning that truck before I moved any of my stuff in. So once I got all my stuff in after having cleaned the truck, then I was able to get going. I got on my first load, and then, making that money, which is super important. So anyway, that's what I had to do when there were issues between me and my teammate. Now, obviously, for those of you who are teaming with somebody who's not your spouse, hopefully, your issues could be worked out. And if they can't, then the best thing to do is contact your dispatcher. Be like, hey, look, this isn't working out. Either I need to find a different teammate, or, I need to get in a different truck. Or the other person needs to get in a different truck. Obviously, your ultimate goal is for everybody to stay working for the company, and for everybody to, feel comfortable with whoever they're teamed with. So, your company would much rather you call and be like, hey, this isn't working out. So, that's pretty much, what I would advise you to do if there's problems that arise. And then, of course, I just shared with you guys what I did. So, happy almost 3 months of running solo, yay, and I will be sure to keep you guys updated on whether or not they find me a teammate, so we will see how that goes. But in the meantime, if you've liked what you have seen, you can like, comment, and subscribe below, and I will be sure to see you guys on the flip side. So, for right now, this is Trucker Jordan, signing off.